Today, we're installing Diode Dynamics SS3 Max LED fog lights. Let's get right into the video. Alright, so let's get inside this box and see what we get. Inside of the main box, you get two separate boxes. In box number one, you get wiring and hardware. Box number two, you get the fog lights. Every time I open one of these boxes, I just can't help but smile. We're gonna go ahead and put the fog lights to the side and let's get into the install. Now there's three different ways of getting to this fog light. Number one, you have to pry this somehow and pop it out. Number two is going through the engine bay, but unfortunately my hands just, they're too big. And the third option, which worked out the best for me, is going through the wheel liner back here. Now, whichever side you are working on, I recommend turning the wheel the opposite way. So if you're working on the left side, turn the steering wheel to the right. It just gives you that much more space and it makes it a lot easier. Once you have the wheel out of the way, let's start taking some screws out.
Next up, we got to take off this clip.
Once you've removed all of these screws, now it's time to get this plastic piece out. A lot of pulling, a lot of yanking, but eventually it'll come out.
So we'll start by unclipping this clip. Just push up and out. Next up, we got to get that screw.
Alrighty, now that you got the stock fog light out of there, let's go to the Diode Dynamics fog light, assemble it, and install it. So we're gonna go ahead and put the fog light facing down. We're gonna get the two nuts that are provided in the hardware box, and we're gonna slide them into these slots right here. Once those are in place, get the frame that's included, slide that thing right over. The way you see it on screen is the way it should go. Next up, we're gonna get the screws and thread them through the nuts. Hand tight is perfectly fine. We don't want to tighten them too much because we are going to have to adjust them in a little bit. Now it's time to reassemble everything. And then we move on to the next side. The other side is the exact same, so I won't bore you with that process, but now I'll show you guys what I do to align my fog lights. Alrighty, so the fog lights, how do I line them up? When you get behind a Corolla and you can see their head lighting up in orange, you know that you're doing something wrong. Point them downwards and you won't have that problem. Now that we got them installed, now let's see how they perform. But before we do, a lot of people ask me, Aang, should I get them in white or should I get them in amber? Now, the white is super clean, super strong, but the amber, it may just all be in my head, but it feels like it gives me an advantage. The amber seems to cut through the elements better. Let me know down below, amber or white, which one are you running? Here, no light, absolutely zero light. Is it safe? Probably not. Now there's light. These are just the fog lights. This is with the fog lights and the headlights on. Next up, we got an outside view. I thought this was pretty cool. Again, no lights on. Then we got the fog lights on. And lastly, we got the fog lights and the headlights on. These fog lights are so good. If you're interested, I'll leave them linked down below. The lights literally speak for themselves. I'll catch you guys in the next one.